Hey guys, I'm making this video because as a flat earther, I'm really interested in the stars, the sun, and the moon. And one thing, I started watching some of these eclipse videos a couple weeks ago, actually probably a couple months ago, and I noticed that a lot of them seem very phony.
Hello, only me, the Creaky Blinder. Welcome to another episode of Playing a Blinder. Now today we're going to be having a look at this
teeny weeny little channel
called Divine Divide. Now I was aware of this channel because I made a video for Simon Dan. No, I didn't. It was for Fight the Flat Earth. Anyway, that's all irrelevant. Now Divine Divide is a flat earther, but this isn't a flat earth video. But like every other flat earther I come across, he just thinks everything is fake, including eclipses. So let's have a look what he's got to say about it. Tidy!
One of the trends that I see is that they'll be filming the landscape around them, the people who are filming, and then they suddenly zoom in on the sun and the moon or the eclipse, but it's always like they stop, they edit it, and it's never just a clear, zooming around and then panning up. It's always a like a different shot.
Okay, well I'll be the first to admit that not a lot of that made much sense to me. Surprise, surprise. But like every other flat earther, your whole theory around this is that camera trickery is used.
And what you see when it's showing the eclipse, it just looks phony. It looks very fake, doesn't look realistic at all, in my opinion. They'll throw in some clouds to kind of change it up a little bit, but take a look at these, see what you think, and I'm just giving my opinion. I see a lot of fakery in these, and which makes me wonder what the hell's going on.
Now, as we all know, opinions are like bum holes. Everyone's got one, and most of them stink. Sorry. But what about all the people that are there watching these eclipses live? And does anyone out there know how to edit footage live while it's happening? Because I certainly don't.
Why are there not all these eclipse videos that just seem normal? They're always they're the same, every single one of them.
Now, at the risk of oversimplifying this, I just did a quick Google search. So are you trying to get us to believe that all 8,860,000 search results just from 2019 alone are exactly the same and fake? Now, they'd be similar. Let's assume that those video results were all filming the same eclipse, but to say they're fake is a bit of a stretch. That would involve an awful lot of people to conspire to fake an eclipse.
The chance of catching a full solar eclipse drew large crowds to the state on Wednesday.
Magical? Is that you?
Many were armed with safety goggles as the moon began its journey across the sun.
Oh, disappointing. It's just the guy with safety goggles. I thought Radical had slipped up and semi-revealed himself.
An extra 60,000 people were expected to head to the state and watch the rare event.
And this is where we need to examine Divine Divide's claim. What did these 60,000 people gain by helping to fake a solar eclipse?
And with clear conditions here at Palm Cove, the spectacle delighted crowds.
And that last shot, I think, is the root of this whole theory. He doesn't like it that it went from the crowd straight to the eclipse because they cut out the pan. That's just called editing. That's just called making the video clip fit in the space that they've got available to them. It doesn't mean that solar eclipses are fake.
Now check this out. This guy, he says that they have the perfect clearing for the eclipse, and right as he says that, they show a huge cloud cover the eclipse. I mean, it's almost like a joke.
I don't get it. I couldn't see any clouds in that shot. That was actually a spectacular view of an eclipse as it was happening.
We got the perfect clearing for it. It was absolutely amazing.
The event was expected to generate a $78 million tourism boost for the region.
I think I can see the problem now, because these flat earthers and other conspirators definitely do not like anybody profiting off anything, do they?
And in this series of shots from Frame Pool, you see just again up close pictures of the eclipse. Again, you got the same clouds going by every time. Sometimes the sun looks suddenly bright orange and then red and then back to yellow, white. I mean, some of them look very, poorly done. and the other ones look a little more realistic, but again, just always zoomed up and on the eclipse, and they just look fake. And at the end of this little clip, you're gonna see it talks about it says they're filmmakers, so brought to you by a bunch of filmmakers.
Now, I might be missing something here, as hard as that may be to believe, but people that record things are generally considered to be filmmakers, so I don't see how that makes Eclipses fake. And I can't help but notice that all you've done so far is show us some pretty spectacular shots of eclipses as they happen, but you've offered no explanation as to why they're fake.
This little clip right here from NASA is probably the worst of all of them.
Well, duh. Ow. Obviously it's going to be the worst one, in your opinion, because it comes from NASA.
Look at that sun, and it just looks completely fake. And the funny thing with NASA is that their sun, when you could look on their own website, the official website of NASA, you'll see the sun. Sometimes they make it pure white, sometimes it's yellow, sometimes it's a ball of orange fire, sometimes even red fire. I mean, you know, yes, I understand there's filters and understand how that works, but it just looks completely different sometimes.
No, you clearly don't understand how it works, otherwise you wouldn't have made this video, would you, you turd?
And that's just not what we see with our own eyes at all.
Well, sometimes what you see through the lens of a camera is very different to what you see with the naked eye, because you can't stare at the sun with the naked eye, despite what sun gazers will tell you. Don't stare at the sun. It's not good for you, kids.
With a telescope, binoculars, whatever, that's not what you don't see a big ball of fire. It's just not what's up there. It's a light, just like it says in the Bible, folks.
Just like it says in the Bible, folk. Ding, ding, ding. At this point, I have no clue why I'm so shocked by this. Why did I even for a split second think that this guy wouldn't be some form of religious person?
So, in conclusion,
Wait, what? Sorry, I dropped something. In conclusion, you haven't said anything yet. Apart from eclipses are fake, and then proceeded to show us lots of video footage of eclipses.
why all this fakery is anybody's guess. You know, they could be covering up something really bad.
Or they could be covering up the sun.
Something really bad that's coming. Or they could just be doing their usual NASA stuff, fooling the masses, fooling the public.
Now at this stage of the video, I do feel compelled to summarize what we've watched and heard so far. So eclipses are fake, in Divine Divide's opinion. I think we've pretty much established that. But in an attempt to convince us, his viewers, all he's gonna do is show us video footage of actual eclipses as they happen, offer no explanation as to why they may be fake, and then conclude by blaming NASA, like every other flat earther in the world. Awesome.
But again, I don't think it's just for fun or just because they're hiding a lot of things, and most of the time it has to do with God and the Bible and the truth.
Not this again. Not again. I can't take any more of it. NASA are not trying to fool the general public into believing the Earth is a globe and that eclipses are real in order to prevent us from believing in God. It just makes no sense at all to any sane person, but it does seem perfectly logical to flat earthers, so you know. Now I know this is a shorter video than I generally do, but it's not my fault. This guy didn't give me much to work with. I should have remembered from when I did the volcano video for Fight the Flat Earth, because he basically just speaks for a very short amount of time and then shows loads of footage which completely disproves what he's talking about in the first place. So he's clearly not the sharpest knife in the kitchen drawer. But anyway, If it's your first time here, thank you very, very much for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and maybe, just maybe, consider turning on bell notifications. Can you see what I'm doing here? I'm just trying to eke it out so the video does actually hit the 10-minute mark and I can put in a mid-roll ad. But you know, sue me. Anyway, I'm the Creaky Blinder. Thanks very much for watching and I will see you all in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.